And this one is based on the comic book series with the same name, but this is a cooperative game of deduction and adventure, as players are going to be exploring a map and deducing where different items are on the map according to different restrictions and requirements, and then players are going to be using that information to try and achieve different objectives, get their troops out on the board, and also fight against monsters. The game offers a bunch of different scenarios with different win and loss conditions, and each scenario is going to come with its own map that you're going to be sliding into a triple layer board, and then you're going to be removing sections of the board to reveal it as you play the game. But each map also comes with its own set of conditions indicating what types of locations you'll find there and what locations are able to be beside other locations, or how many locations can be in a single row or column, or maybe even just exist on the map in general. You're going to be using all this information to kind of deduce what you think is in your unexplored spaces based on the spaces that you already explored. So if you're familiar with Minesweeper, this is very similar to that, except this one has a lot more nuance and detail with it, with a lot of different locations having different effects, and with the conditions changing depending on the scenario that you're playing. As a team, you're going to have your final goals, which might be to defeat a certain amount of monsters or get a certain amount of troops out on the map, but there's also smaller objectives that you're going to be trying to achieve throughout the game, because there's going to be a bunch of cards at the top of the board that, as you're taking the tokens out of the board to unveil the location, you're going to be adding those tokens onto the card, and once there's a certain amount of those tokens on the card, it's going to activate that card, triggering any of its effects. And these cards can have different requirements that, if you're able to meet those, you could get a positive effect or just avoid a negative effect. The players will be continuing the game like this, taking turns exploring different regions on the board, and also taking advantage of any gear that they find or their special abilities of their character. And if they're able to meet the goals of the scenario, then they win the game. And if you do want to check this one out, I will have it linked in the description down below.